and grape happened in slavery. We just know that it's a fact that it happened, right? Which is the same thing with what happened with the Jews, whoever, this is where I want to come to an agreement on, whoever the Jews were in Egypt. Would you agree that the same, maybe the same, or maybe a little variation of how much or how less grape was going on with the Egyptians and the slaves?
I can't say that because, for one, the Israelites look like the Egyptians. The foremothers of the Israelites were Egyptian women.
So if an Egyptian was coming down 42nd Street in Manhattan and an African American looking typically like an African American does with any kind of hue, you wouldn't be able to tell the two apart.
I would argue that the Egyptians and the Israelites look like each other.
So what you're saying also, you could correct me if I'm wrong, is you could not tell the two apart, an Egyptian and an African from Africa?
They thought Paul was an Egyptian in the Bible.
You're gonna have to refresh my memory. Do you happen to know where that is?
Yeah, I get the book chapter.
Hey, I'll say this too.
Oh no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Maybe right now, I was gonna say too, just real quick. Maybe right now, as far as 2025, you can tell the difference between a so-called Egyptian and an African. But
That's right. That's the conclusion I was drawing.
Shabar's saying back in ancient times that they looked alike. The Egyptians looked like the Israelites.
Yeah, that I don't know, and I don't know. I'm trying to find out how he knows that. But he's going to Paul, so
yeah, Paul said it. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Luke actually brought this out in the book of Acts. So Acts 21:37 says Paul. Let me get this real quick.
Are you looking in the King James? That's the only one you look at. Not like, we don't honor the other Bibles.
I do. I'd look at any Bible I want to look at.
Because I could give you a nice cross section on some corruptions in the New Invitation, this and the Word Down Soda.
I could give you corruption in every one of them except the manuscripts.
I could give you a corruption in the Authorized King James too, but it doesn't.
I don't listen. I'm not a King James onlyist. I use cross reference of.
All right, I'll tell you what. Just for your argument's sake, go ahead. And
I don't care about what's.
And then I'll look it up in the King James. I'll tell you what, you read it, and then I'll look it up later on. Then I'll get back with you live and see how it differs, if it does at all.
Yeah, I would just suggest go to the Greek, honestly. But, yeah.
I'll tell you. Go ahead. So what were you reading now?
All right, give me 1 second. Acts 21:37. And as Paul was led into the castle, he said unto the chief, "May I speak unto you?" And he said,
"Can I stop you for a second there? You're saying unto. What Bible do you read? That's the King James, right?"
Right.
Oh, I thought you didn't read it, King James. You just reading it for me?
That you wasn't listening.
He said he'll read any Bible.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
It doesn't matter what Bible.
No problem.
The authority is the Greek and Hebrew.
Yeah, I wanted to know so I don't have to go back in my Bible or get a Bible. So go ahead.
Yeah, it don't matter. I could read this from any. Yeah, I could read it from any. Which Bible you want me to get?
I said we only honor the Authorized King James.
No, okay. Acts 21.
So you're good.
And as Paul was led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, "May I speak unto you?" Who said, "Can you speak Greek? Aren't you the Egyptian which before these days made us an uproar and led us out into the wilderness, 4,000 men that were murderers?" Then Paul said, I am a man which is a Jew of Tarshish. So here it is. Paul's been clearly mistaken by just a clear look at him being an Egyptian.
Okay.
When he has to verify, no,
good
I'm
point
actually
of reference. Okay. Let me ask you this.
No, I'm actually a Jew.
Yeah, I got you. Good point of reference. And I do have a response. But before I do, would you go to Matthew 23 for me so I can answer that for you?
Matthew 23 and what?
37, is it? Or is it 20? Try 27 verse. I don't have a Bible with me right now, so you have to start it off and see if it's the right one.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees.
That's it. Go ahead. That's it.
For you are like unto whited
sepulchres. That's like a tombstone or a monument. Yeah, sepulchres is like a tombstone or a mausoleum, a grave headstone, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you see how Father Lord God Almighty Jesus is talking to the Pharisees, who Paul was a Pharisee. You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay, and his father, he was boasting when at the end of Acts, talking to King Agrippa and Festus or whoever the lawyers were when he's trying to get himself off. I don't know if you remember this. He says, I am a Hebrew and a Roman. When he tells them he's a Roman, that's
Right.
when they took hands off him and said, oh, let's leave him alone and get him to this other higher court. You know the story, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a number of things. He's Hebrew, he's Pharisee, and he's a Roman. But he's Pharisaic, and the Pharisees, Father, Lord God Almighty, Jesus is talking to in 23:27 of Matthew, and he calls them whited sepulchres, tombstones, because it's full of dead bones and of whatever else he said. Could you finish reading it? And all uncleanliness, I think he said. What, you left that chapter and verse?
In a second.
Yeah, don't unless you're gonna take my word for it, but I don't expect you to do that.
No, I'm trying to hear your point. It says,
Yeah, the point is, when he calls them white sepulchres, which are indeed beautiful outwardly, don't you think he's talking about their appearance?
emphatically
Their
not.
physical appearance?
No, absolutely not. That's ridiculous.
All right,
Verse
tell me,
27,
why is that
verse 20,
ridiculous?
listen,
Why is that ridiculous?
I'm about to tell you why that's ridiculous.
All right, go ahead.
We can see in the context matter. So for once, context supersede etymology of what it is that
I believe you, and that's what we do too. But tell me how it's out of context to believe they were white.
Verse 27. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, right? Look at what he says here. Even so, you outwardly appear righteous unto men, right? You are
Right.
full of hypocrisy and iniquity. When you deal with that word going into tombstone, it literally means grave. Christ is likening them unto a dead body. This has nothing to do with outward appearance and no stretch form of the imagination.
Okay.
That's why Christ, because your position will have to be, Christ brought that up to bring forth and spring forth a color. Christ, this is a color scripture.
No, I don't think he brought it up to talk about color.
There we go. So that's
Well, let me finish.
So that's why.
Are you done so I can go, or you want to finish?
Hold on. I'm just simply saying, because you asked me what was my breakdown.
I just thought you put a period on it. I want to know when I can respond. That's all.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. So no, I didn't say that you said this. I didn't say that he brought it up to note that these Pharisees were white.
So
all I brought it up. What'd you say?
Why'd you bring it up then?
Yeah, I'm about to tell you. I said, all I brought it up for was to show you that out of following God Almighty Jesus' mouth, Jews that were living in the year 30 or 33 AD, if he's describing them, both their unrighteousness inside and what they look like outside, when he said, who are indeed beautiful and appear this, he's talking about their appearance, their physical appearance first. But inside, you're like dead bones and all of uncleanness, which is wait a minute. I'm not done yet. Which is an allusion to the former chapter and verse that you just read in context. So tell me how that's crazy.
Yeah. So what you're saying makes literally no sense.
What I'm saying is what I'm quoting.
No. What you're saying makes no sense. Christ brings up a part to what they're likened unto based upon their outward appearance. He's not dealing with color.
No, that's not. No. That's not based on their outward appearance. What they're likened unto. Because he gave that a pot. Wait. He gave that a positive.
I'm about to read it to you.
I tell you what. Read 3 chapters, 3 verses.
I got you.
3 verses.
Which indeed appear beautiful.
Right.
Outward, right. So the outward appearance that's appearing to be beautiful is the sash.
Does he not use the BUT word? Does he not use the BUT word?
Yeah, so I'm giving you. So
okay, so I'm telling you.
Hold on, bro. If you don't be quiet, you're not going to be able to comprehend what it is that I'm teaching you right now. You already got your mind made up of what you think this is. You think he's calling them white people. That's
and I'm defending my point.
Right.
If you
don't, but right now,
it's
not time for you to defend your point right now.
It's your life. I'm not trying to
right. So I just
usurp your life.
So I
thought we were having a discussion.
Right. So when I was just talking,
I'm not here to learn anything.
I thought you put a period in it, right? And I let you go. Notice I didn't do that when you was talking. Right. You asked me to exegete this, and that's what I'm doing. I'm teaching you against your point. I'm letting you know how your point makes no logical
Wait, but
sense.
why do you have to be teaching me? I didn't say I was teaching you. If you
Yeah, I
get
don't,
taught,
man.
that's
Listen,
just a
bro. This
fact.
is listen, bro. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. What I'm doing is
If you don't
teaching
want
you.
me here, you can drop me. I'm gonna stay as long as you can be entertained with my
Bro, this
position.
this is literally crazy. Hey, how about you just be quiet so I can go over this
Look,
point?
don't patronize me and
I'm
try
gonna
to.
just put you on mute. You go on mute, you could just leave. This is ridiculous. Like I really don't get what this brother's doing, right? He brought out a point and said, "Hey, Christ." Everybody just heard. For one, he already yielded to the fact that Christ's ancestors are black men. I brought up the wisdom of Solomon. He agreed to that. Then he went to a book, chapter, and verse to teach us that Christ is saying, "Hey, these are white people that's beautiful on their outward appearance."
Hey,
Right?
Shabar.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because I was confused and maybe I could just listen to the conversation. I just want to ask real quick. Is he bringing all this out? And if you can, I don't know if you want him to answer, if you know what he bringing out. Is he bringing all this out to argue that the Jews that's in Israel is the real Jews?
That's exactly what he's doing. Because why else would we be
Hey,
here
what
with
did
him
you
trying
do?
to say? Because
I
why?
was just
Because
telling
why
y'all
we?
I'm lunch.
Oh, okay.
Because we got here right now with him trying to paint the picture
How is
that the
everything today?
Pharisees
Running
are
smooth?
white
Yeah,
people.
running
We
smooth.
worked on those best
Hold on, let
bags.
me mute her mic real quick. Mike, you
Yeah,
got
we're
mute your
only
mic.
delivering one though.
Well,
So yeah, we got here right now, right? Because he's trying to tell us and perpetuate that the Jews right now are white. That's why we start talking about what people look like. That's all that this conversation has been. It's been in a roundabout way to swing to the point that today the Jews today might be the people of God and they're white. That's what we're talking about. So for no other
Yeah.
reason, and this is why we here right now. He went to a book, chapter, and verse to try to say that these Pharisees right here are white. He said, yeah, the outward appearance of them are white people. That's why Christ used that stone. No, the stone is just dealing with a grave, right? Because we know the sting of sin is death. This is why Christ called them vipers. Let's just read verse 28. Even so, you outwardly appear righteous unto men. Taz,
Yeah.
appearing righteous unto man got nothing to do with you being white.
Yeah.
But this is the foolery white people believe and the Jewish people believe. That's why he's pushing this doctrine. And for no other reason, he'd get up on this stage and say that and try to point a point. Look, I just went and showed that how Paul was likened unto an Egyptian.
Egyptian. So we gonna just ignore that scripture.
Right, exactly. And look, mind you, we ain't even
Sorry
ran
about
to
that,
the
y'all.
scripture. We haven't even ran to when Christ went to go hide in Egypt from Herod.
Yeah, but what are you getting all upset
bro,
about?
you
Trying to
have
tell
to
me I'm
be,
crazy
bro.
because I
Listen,
interpret
no,
something
listen,
different
bro.
from you.
You got to
No,
be
let
quiet,
him.
man. You have
Yeah,
to
don't.
be quiet.
No, everybody's talking. You just drop me
No,
if you
bro,
want me to
I'm
be
talking to
quiet.
my
You're not gonna
mans,
talk
bro.
over
This
me. I
is
don't care
our
Yeah,
whose
hey,
live
stage.
it is.
hey, I
Bro,
wanted to ask him something too before y'all
Yeah,
get
don't
to it.
ask
go ahead,
him. You want to know
ask him
something
a
from me?
question.
Ask me.
No, I'm saying after Shabar done what he's saying, if y'all could, brother, I
Now
wanted to
you can
ask you.
ask him right now, then
Jesism,
I get back
Right,
into it.
right.
you
I just wanted
need
to.
to be fair. I mean, I've sat back and I listened, and you are kind of like cutting in and you're talking over. You're doing that a lot.
I don't know
So
who you're talking about. You talking about the host or me?
No,
I'm talking
you.
to you.
And the
So
host is not doing that. You appeasing the host? You just kissing up to the
no,
host? He's not doing any of that. He
he's
didn't bring
allowed
this
you to
ranting and raving.
just calm
It's
down.
a bit going back and
Look, when
forth,
somebody
but
does
look,
that with me, and I
I muted him. Taz, just ask your question, and
I
then I get
just
back
Yeah.
into it.
yeah, if I just wanted to ask you real quick, bruh. He can come off mute if he want to. I was. Can you hear me, bro?
yeah, I'm off mute. See
Yeah,
how
I
many
just
times you mute? I don't have the ability to mute the host. Go ahead.
Yeah,
yeah, I just wanted to ask you real quick is what I would. So, are you bringing all this out to say that you believe the Jews in Israel is the real Jews?
The Jews in Israel?
it's
Yes,
a yes or no.
the Jewish people, the
The
ones that's
white
living in
It's
man.
a
Israel.
yes or no. You mind if I answer it my way so he's clear?
I haven't.
Is that all right?
We
Or I
just
got to
want
be
a
some
yes or
sort of little
no.
puppet on your knee?
Well, it's Shabar, it's cool. Let him, cause I'm not,
All right. I'm going to be short and I'm going to answer it my way. It's not a yes or no. The Jews that are here in the United States is what I'm saying, trying to make a case that they were at least the year 30 or 33 as white as Caucasoid white. Almost. After 4,000, he says the Jews or I believe 5,600 is the year, the Jewish year, who you say are Jews. But no problem. 4 or 5,000 years, almost 6,000 years. If African Americans come out of Africa to the United States in 400 years, and then 150 after slavery is over, how much more? And the whole black race is going from one hue to the other, dark, and it's still here, dark to light. How many years are we talking about? Whoever the Jews were in Egypt, is it going to be how they are going to change 4,000 years later? And through either grape or intermarriage or just simply intimacy, interracial intimacy. How many times you could take the 150 years or the 400 years of African Americans coming to the United States and multiply that how many times, you get 4,000 years that Africans came out of Africa and went to Egypt, and then they had the Exodus, then they had the diaspora and went all parts Northern Europe, and now they're here back from Europe, and you want to tell me there's no possibility that they were white
So brother,
2,000 years ago?
brother. So let's just say that I agree with that, right? So
Okay.
you say that to say what?
I said it to
That the
say that
that
we
the
have
Jews, hold on for a second. Are you saying that to say that the Jews that's living in Israel, the so-called Jewish man, that they are the children of God, that they are the real people of the book?
no, I'm not saying the Jews that are in Israel right now, because they're not the Jews that are here in the United States now. I see the Jews that are in Israel right now. They're like a multiplicity of origins. I don't know what they are. All I know is that the latest Jew is a product of the
Is he white?
diaspora
Yes or
more than
no?
the
But can
Jews
you
in
So
make
you
his
believe,
Israel.
point clear? I
so
think
right, so
that
are
we
you
are
That's
saying,
why I told
confused.
y'all yes or
yeah,
no. He's playing
right. So
around.
wait, hold on for a second. So are you saying that the Jews in Israel are not the Jews? The real Jews are here in America and they white?
No, I'm saying that the Jews that are in Israel are more part African because they're closer to that region, but they're not part of the diaspora, is what I'm saying.
He an Orthodox Jew. I already know about
Who?
this. So do you
Who?
believe? So do you believe they're
Wait, who's
white?
an
Yes or
Orthodox
no?
Jew?
Do you believe they're white? Yes or no?
But wait, I didn't get your question.
Hey,
Who's an
hey,
Orthodox?
hey! This is my question to you. Are the people that you believe Jews, are they white skinned? Yes or no?
First of all, I believe that they're in the United States and they're white skinned. A case could be made, and it was
All
just
right,
made,
thank you. You can mute
whether
your mic so I can
rejected or
finish
not.
my breakdown. You can mute your mic now because I gave you time to answer his
Okay,
question.
I'll
You
mute it. Go
answered his
ahead. In all
question. Thank you.
fairness,
I
go ahead. I
appreciate
tell you
that.
what, I don't have to mute it. I'll just not say anything.
No, you could mute your mic like I asked you.
Oh,
I
what do you mean?
appreciate it.
What's it gonna do to mute it? I just won't say anything.
Maybe this dude got a problem with following rules on the stage. Anyways, so Taz, this was my point, and this is why I said, like, so Taz, I spoke to Jewish people, and I spoke to Orthodox Jewish people that believe they come from the line of Japhet. No, they believe they come from the line of Japhet, and they believe black people come from the line of Ham, which are cursed black people with black skin. This is what they believe. So the people that I spoke to, they say, hey, we are of the diaspora, and we believe only people that are the Yahudim, which are the people of God, are in the diaspora in the Americas with white skin. This is what he believes. This is why I said, ask him a yes or no. He ain't want to deal with it like that. So we've already dealt with a book, chapter, and verse where Paul was mistaken to be an Egyptian, was his black. So he ran. What he did was he ran to the book of Matthew to say Christ was teaching an outward appearance that the Pharisees were beautifully white, and that's not the context matter that Christ is even talking about. Christ is talking about their actual physical appearance pertaining to their robes, their garments, how they wear their fringes. The same thing our beloved brother Titus spoke about, man. That's all that's happening here. Look at what it says here, man. All we got to do is just keep reading. Bro, I asked you to go on mute, and I appreciate if you just respected the rules of the
Yeah, I
platform.
have been. I unmuted. I haven't said anything.
Okay, so you just won't continue saying anything because you're on mute, right? So look at what verse 33 says. You serpents, you generations of vipers, how can you escape the damnation of hell? Right? This is what this is talking about. This is why Christ is likening them unto a tombstone, because you build tombstones of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous. So what Christ is dealing with is how they making a grave and they liken unto a dead body, which is why he said their father was literally the devil. That's all that's going on here. And we can't even substantiate emphatically if these Pharisees were Israelites, because these are the same Pharisees that said they was in bondage to no man. When you go to the time of the Maccabees, we had Herodians that snuck themselves up in the priesthood. I would go and argue the fact that these weren't even Israelites, which is why Paul said, I grew up amongst Herodians when I was young, when I was little. Let's get that in Acts. Let's get that in Acts, and let's get the color of these people, because this dude just straight out lied like that, and that's crazy. So let's go get the account of what Paul said in Acts 13:1. And we finna figure out how this was a Negroid group of people pertaining to the prophets, and they were black, right? So this is Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets, teachers, as Barnabas, Simeon, that was called Niger, right? Which is the word Niger. Let's get that though. Let's go to the blue letter and let's get the word for Niger. The word Niger right here, which is going to Negro or Negroid, literally means black. So your whole thesis is quite frankly destroyed, because the same prophets right here, right, descend from the nation of Israel. So you over here trying to paint a picture, right, that the prophets and the Jews are white. We have book, chapter, and verses in the New Testament alone that call these people Negroes, which are black melanated people. You lied. Now let's get this.
Strong's G 3526. Niger.
So the word Niger in the book of Acts 13:1 literally calls these people black, which is a Negroid feature, which is melanated, right? So your whole stance right there is done. Can you answer this question? Why is the book of Acts calling the prophets black men?
So you're gonna tell me I can unmute, or now I can talk?
I asked you a question. Why is the book of Acts why is the book of Acts calling the prophets black men?
Why you talking about Paul?
No, it didn't. Paul didn't write Acts. Why is the book of Acts calling the prophets black men?
Why is the book of Acts calling the prophets black men? Where's that?
So I'm going to read it again. I guess you missed it. This is Acts 13, verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger. Why is Acts 13:1 calling the prophets of God who descend from the nation of Israel Negroes?
Barnabas and Simeon, to be exact.
Yeah, Barnabas and Simeon. Lucius and Cyrene, actually.
Okay, I'll answer it this way.
And Saul, which is Paul.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer it this way, and I'm gonna indulge you that your research on the word Niger from the Niger River. How do you pronounce that again?
You know what the fuck he's saying.
Niger.
Yeah, it says it right here. Let me spell it for you, right? Just in case you disagree with the scholars,
go ahead.
Right, that we got right here. Yeah, I'm gonna spell it for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you can understand what a sepulcher is. You couldn't pronounce that either. So you go ahead.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Right. So we have Niger. That's the word nigger, right?
No,
I was pronouncing it. Be quiet. You didn't even know where this was at, and if this.
No, I didn't. It's pronounced Niger. You said something else.
So how do you spell nigger?
Okay.
Which word are we talking about? The Niger River, or what?
No, man, just be quiet, man. I'm about to put you on mute because now you playing games. Now
why don't you just kick me if you?
Now you acting like you're stupid. So look, right now, so we got a word right here, right? That literally means nigger. So it's spelled Niger. In slavery, they called the Negroes niggers, which is Nigger. How it's pronunciated in the blue letter is Neeger. Let's hear this white man pronunciate this word again.
Yeah, but no one is.
You have to be quiet. Thank you.
Look,
Strong's G 3526.
I'm not gonna be muted much longer.
Yeah, you're gonna be muted. right?
No,
You
I'll
white people
leave.
don't got that type of.
Okay,
You
so
could do
maybe you
that,
should do
Bob.
that then. You
No,
should.
I want him to feel guilty if he kicked.
Man, no. I'm first of all, I'm not guilty speaking to no white people about anything. First and foremost.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know where
I
you
could tell
got
he's
that from.
irritated starting from the beginning of talking to his ass.
Yeah, because he went to
Do
that.
y'all? You thought he was? I don't even know. Was he white?
Yeah, he white.
Yes,
He
he's
want to be
white.
white. He wish he was white. That's why
He
he pushing
sound.
that.
He sound. I didn't know if he sounded like a white man to me or not. I know
He
he was
sound
saying.
white to me.
He sound like a white dude to me.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
his. I think his mama
Especially
probably
with that
mixed.
whole
I think
bullshit
his.
doctrine.
I think his mama mixed and his daddy white.
Mm.
Oh
I tell
no,
you
but
one thing, he know who the fuck we are. How about that?
yeah,
That's
I
all
kick
that
you
matters.
again, bro. Nobody cares about me kicking you. You was unruly. You couldn't even keep your mic muted. You did. You don't even got respect for black people, bro. I asked you to mute your mic. You couldn't do that. You kept coming off your mic, and as I was giving a breakdown, you kept talking. That makes no sense. This all
Right.
happened because I went into the book of Matthew to say, no, Christ isn't teaching that these people have white skin. He's bringing up the tomb and the grave, likening them unto their position of teaching false doctrine. That's all I was doing. And then I
To
went to
say
proof.
that they all is that what he was saying too? My bad, bro. Because to say that all of Israel is white is crazy work,
That's what he
right?
said. I
So
got the playback.
now I can agree that maybe Israel was scattered to four corners of the earth, and being in the four corners of the earth, in some cases, they can resemble some of the nations that they're in. So, meaning that some of them might do look white, some of them might do look Chinese, right? But to say that all of them, every single last one of them is white, is crazy work with them being spread to the four corners of the
Four
earth.
corners of the earth. But that's why I said, what the Jews in America of the diaspora. Taz, I spoke to these people. I spoke to the Orthodox Jewish people out here in America. They believe we cursed because we come from the seed of Ham. They said we come from what they say? They came from the line of Japhet. And somehow them
Mhm.
coming out of Japhet,
You say you spoke to the Jews here in
the
America?
Orthodox, yeah, the Jews here in America. See, yeah, if you in Israel, so the Jews in America and the Jews in the
They
Jewish people
separate
in,
themselves?
yeah, they separate themselves. They teach totally different things. I spoke to these people, bro. I got them on YouTube.
Mm.
We had the whole conversation. Right? They separate themselves. They believe that they said, because I asked them, I thought I had them in a confounded moment. I said, well, why is y'all over here? Why are y'all over here in the Americas? I said, this is what I asked him. I said, what prophecies did y'all fulfill? How is it that y'all are in the land of Israel and the Israelites supposed to be scattered? And he's like, yeah, exactly. We don't believe what they teach over there. He said, we believe what they teaching over there is a lie. So the Jewish people that is out here that make it their business to go out into the diasporas is trying to fit themselves in a prophecy. That's what they doing. They didn't genuinely get enslaved and get put anywhere. They're literally making themselves to fit like these people to try to say, no, we're in the diasporas. We fit this. This is why this man to get up here and say they was white, a pasty white man. And then he went to the book of Matthew to try to substantiate that, bro. We all just heard him do that. So when I pull out that the prophets are black, according to the book of Acts, he could not deal with that. He ran and he fled. He didn't even deal with it. That's ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous. Nobody's strong man in anything, bro. You
He said
can't.
he's saying not all. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, so if you ain't saying all, you basically saying that some of the white people here in America is Jews. I don't mean that blacks can't ain't Jews either, or Hispanics, or you know what I mean. Then what's the point of the argument then?
That was the problem. Like his whole argument was confusing to begin with. Like
That's
he
why
just
he went
came
up.
up here to stir up confusion, talking about something. He got a new religion called
Jesism. That ain't
Jesism.
nowhere. Don't nobody believe in that,
I don't know what
but
you
a
talking
culture.
about.
Yeah, nobody believes in that. That's nowhere. Nobody's even teaching that. You on the app right now trying to teach that crap, man.